Hi everybody, today we are going to talk about conflict and evil in Indian philosophy. First, we will go about discussing in the first video about exploring Dharma, Karma, and the cosmic balance. Where does evil and negativity come into Indian philosophy? And then in part 2, the next video will be about conflict as a cosmic cycle in greater detail. So let me start with the statement, as I always do, that the Indian philosophy is based upon the concept of infinity, and it is also based on the concept of the cyclical concept of time, where time is a continuous concept. And because there is infinity, that means it is an eternal idea of life that is there. And it also is not just about meditation and yoga. Negativity and evil definitely are a part of Indian philosophies, because of which you need yoga and meditation and the connection to the supreme consciousness and the cosmic consciousness that is there. So because you have all these desires and wishes and ignorance inside of you, all these layers that are there, you must remove these layers in order to reach the infinite consciousness and the supreme being that is there. Because you have conflicts and evils and negative ideas, so that is where the Indian philosophy comes, where the negativity is a important and integral part of Indian philosophy and way of life. We will see how that happens. So now we come to the core philosophical concepts that are there, which are the basically simple pillars that are there in our philosophy. First, we have the dharma, then karma, ahimsa, and maya. Dharma means all that is right, all that is morality, all that is your duty and righteousness of what one should follow in order to take the correct path. It is a duty as you have for as a mother, as a father, as a sister, a brother, a cousin, as a boss, as a worker, towards others and to society. What is the most correct thing to do? And many times the most correct thing to do is the most difficult thing to do in life. So dharma is what uh, you have to it's actually very simple to do. The answer is very clear what action is to be taken, but what stops us is generally the desires and wants that we have in our life, which stops us from taking the correct path. Okay, of knowing what is the correct decision to take. And in this context, again, we come to the law of karma. It is the law of cause and effect. To every action, there is an opposite, equal and opposite reaction, right? So if two people are pulling, there's always a tug and war between. If you do one thing, then something else will happen to you. So if you do good things, then good things will happen to you. If you do something negative, then a negative uh, incident will happen to you. So therefore you should know what is your duty, what is the moral code, what is the correct thing to do, and then you must do it. And you should know what is the effect of it, what is a negative action, what is a positive action. And again, once again, human ego comes in the way. And then there is non-violence. Non-violence is basically a reaction which is a passive reaction, in which you don't take an aggressive action to something. So supposing there is a war in your country and you don't want to throw nuclear bombs, what you do is you just put tariffs, or you stop talking to the country, or you close the water supply that they have. So it is non-violent. Yes, you can say it's negative, but sometimes necessary, which we will discuss later. So ahimsa, try not to create a negative action, a violent action towards the others, so you don't have bad karma. That means the cause and effect. So if you do something bad will come to you. If you do something good, then good will come to you. Generally, right? The reaction will be good. It will be a little less aggressive if you do something, a reaction which is less aggressive as well towards an event. And Maya is the illusion that is created. Things are not as they seem. So this goes back to the concept of your connection to the supreme consciousness and the cosmic consciousness, right? So I told you, like an onion peel, you are covered with layers and layers of desires, of wishes, of experiences and ego that you have to remove slowly. Your basic needs, once they are met, then you search yourself inside and connect you. The human body connects to the supreme consciousness, and you realize what is real living, and that is only through meditation and yoga and keeping a stillness in your mind. So, and this will be easier to, and in Indian philosophy, you there are different ways in which you can connect to God. So we have the non-material realm and the material realm. So that is a different discussion which we will do in great detail in a different video. But right now we're talking about the conflicts, the scope of conflict in Indian philosophy. So now the most famous example where karma, dharma, ahimsa, and moral duties came together was in the Bhagavad Gita, during the time where Arjuna is in the battlefield with Lord Krishna, and he is facing all his relatives, and he is in dilemma: should I fight this war or not fight this war? So Krishna, and that is the time when Lord Krishna revealed the Gita to Arjun, the warrior, and he told him that you must fight not for hate but for dharma, of doing what is the moral duty. It is difficult to go against your cousins and near relatives, but sometimes an aggressive action is necessary, so that the balance of negativity that is there for such a long time has to end. You cannot continue a negative action for such a long time, because the karma that they are creating is negative all over. So the arrow keeps on moving forward. You have to make a stop by removing the negative that is there in front of you. So see it as what is your moral duty, and not as that you're fighting your cousins. That is a totally different issue altogether. So war is as a test of moral responsibility and not vengeance, doing things what is right. Now we come to the part where conflict is a cosmic cycle, and this topic I'm going to go in depth in the next video that will come after this, dealing with the same topic. So we have the Sankhya and Vedanta views. Now, what is Sankhya and Vedanta views? Sankhya and Vedanta are different philosophies of how a relationship is with the biggest creator in our lives, to God, or the supreme being and the cosmic being that is there, and the cosmic space that is there. Now, there are absolutely different kinds of views and concepts of how is your relationship is with God. Is it a one-on-one? That means the God is the master and I am the servant, or is it that I am a part of the greatest consciousness and I have to remove the layers that are there in my life? So these are two different views. One is of complete surrender, and the second is of removing these layers that are there in all around you in the non-material plane, and reaching that level in which you are with the supreme consciousness, the creator. So these they are different concepts, and I will take this in a completely different video about this. Now, in this basic philosophies, you have the universal cycle of creation, preservation, and destruction. So this, and that's why I spoke about the infinity concept of infinity in Indian philosophy. All human beings have this creation, preservation, and destruction, and it starts once again, the continuous cycle. Anything that is created remains for some time, and then it ends, and then again it is created. So just like you have the day sunrise, you have the afternoon, and you have the evening, and again the sun rises again in the morning. So and then conflict becomes a part of this cosmic balance, and not chaos is not permanent. Chaos remains, but too much of negativity and too much of conflict sometimes one part becomes so heavy with negativity, you have to have the second part, which is there, which is goodness and organization and stability, in order to keep everything balanced in this life. Because if you go to any one way, both of the ways are destructive. So uh, there is a cosmic balance. When there's too much of negativity, some positivity needs to come about, which is there. Now, what is the role of evil in Indian philosophy? Evil does play a part, because apart from yoga and meditation, why is it there? It is because you have the negative thoughts which are there. You have the ego, and you have ignorance, you have greed, which is stopping you from doing the correct thing. Right? You want more money, so you push other people around, and try to get ahead by doing by manipulating other people, and so the negativity increases. The egos, the asuras, are taken as the demons, are basically the egos, ignorance and greed that is there, and evil is an imbalance in society which needs to be taken care of to have harmony. So evil therefore exists as a challenge to the good, to make the society better than what it was. And so if there's too much of negativity, how to make the society better? A concept of goodness that is better, concept of harmony which is there. So in that way, then everybody starts to think positively, everybody starts to search within, that are we doing something wrong? Because there is this evil, are we doing something wrong? So more and more people will try and remove this desire that is there in life, and try and reach the supreme consciousness, right? So evil exists to challenge the good that is there, and this prompts the evolution of a better consciousness in society and in oneself. So then you have ahimsa and modern interpretations. So the great leader Gandhiji redefined the power of non-violence, of non-reaction to aggressive stance, in which you make the other person feel a little terrible or guilty about conducting a lathi charge or something negative, right? So the power of goodness therefore becomes magnified, and so ahimsa, that is non-violence, becomes strength of goodness. The strength of goodness, though destruction is very fast and very quick, but goodness is extremely strong and lasts for a very long time. The spirit of dharma must guide the action of what is the correct thing to do. And so at the end, we can have a takeaway is that war and conflict are not glorified, but sometimes necessary in Hindu philosophy, in order to bring the balance that is there. And it is a continuous process internally and also externally in society. And dharma, or what is right and what is wrong, what is written, determines whether violence is justified or not. How many people are being hurt? Is a society being hurt by a certain action? Then you have to make things right. Innocence should not be lost. So evil is a catalyst for growth and not eternal damnation. And so you have the right to action, but not to the fruits of the action, is what is written. Right? So you must take the necessary action of what happens, and it has to be correct. Whatever is the result of whatever you have done is what is deserving to you. So think deeply, act wisely, and stay rooted in Dharma. And thank you so much for listening to me. And the next video on conflict as a cosmic cycle will be put up soon. Thank you so much. Bye bye.